welcome back to Two Nigerian Women. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Ibukun.
And I remain Abidemi. Welcome to today's episode of Two Nigerian Women.
Brilliant. And before we tell you what we're talking about today, well, you see it in the title, but could you please like and subscribe? And if you do
Share.
like the sounds of yes, if you like the sounds of this episode, share. We're trying to
Yeah.
get to 1,000, keep us on the air, so to speak. the metaphor, anyways, keep us on the air. Yeah. So
Yes,
like,
please.
share, and subscribe. Thank you for
Yes.
joining us. So today, Sissy, what are we talking about? It's adjusting each other's crown. Yes, that's what we've thought to call it. But you'll get the gist of what we're saying as we chat. Because we were
Yes.
having a conversation before we started recording. I'm like, actually, let's talk this out. So when we say adjusting each other's crown, what does that mean to you, Sissy?
I think it's just praising each other, extolling each other's virtues, and also just being like the best form of support you can be in the good,
Mm,
the bad, the ugly, and doing it so well that it's almost like I am taking on whatever you're going through. I am taking it on. So if it's good, I'm taking it on. If it's bad, I am taking it on. I am your biggest cheerleader, your
mhm,
number one supporter, and just being there, but adjusting it in a way that it doesn't. Just because I'm doing it doesn't mean that I'm dulling my own shine, or just because I'm doing it doesn't mean that I am negating myself to the background, or I am promoting myself any less. I think it's but the irony of this adjusting each other's crown, we have
mm,
to get to the root cause of adjusting each other's crown. What is your idea of friendship? Because it's friends that take
mm,
on that role of
mm,
being
mm,
really supportive, ever caring, loving, encouraging, number
mm,
one supporter, prayer partner, the people that you can share your problems with. So I don't expect everyone to adjust my crown. I think a lot of us get it wrong. But
mm,
if we're narrowing it down to our friendship group,
mm,
adjusting each other's crown, what does it mean to you? What does it mean amongst friends? Real friends. I'm not talking about acquaintances. I'm not talking about colleagues. I'm not talking
mm.
about um church members. I'm talking about your friendship group. What does it mean to help each other up? Give a helping hand to
And
support one another. I
well,
think so. It is a phrase, it's an exclamation, it is a question, but it connotes
mhm.
so many things.
It
And
can
it goes
go,
on
you can go down so many routes with this,
that's the
can't
thing.
you?
So what is your
Yeah.
own interpretation of it? I can adjust your crown and not
Mm,
feel small, or feel like I am not praising myself, or feel like um I am not doing so much, or feel insecure because I am
mm,
adjusting your own crown. Do you
mm, mm.
understand? So
I
I don't
do.
feel
Yeah.
that way. I will support you. It doesn't make me feel any less of who I am. Because
Mm,
where we're going to even if we're going to the same place, we have different skills that are going to get us to that point. We have different gifts that have been gifted from heaven.
mm,
And by the way, we are Christians, so everything that we do,
mhm,
we have to embody this walk, this Christian walk, this way of life. Christianity is
mm,
a way of life. I don't call it a religion, I call it a way of life. So we have
mhm,
to embody it. So these are the gifts I've been given from heaven. Even if we are in the same place,
mhm,
it doesn't mean because I'm adjusting your crown, I am not going to get to where I'm going to, or I am not fulfilling my purpose. So what
mm.
does it mean? Because that for me, that's my own explanation in layman's terms. If I don't want to go too deep, what is
Today.
your own explanation, or what's your own idea of adjusting one's crown?
Well, first of all, what is this crown we're talking about? So with it, and it goes with any form of, well, any individual, a man or a woman. So we both in terms of genders have a crown set on us in terms of, well, let's give some examples. When someone says, oh yes, he's the king of this, or she's the queen of this, kings and queens wear crowns.
Yeah.
And when you crown someone, you're acknowledging them as really good in whatever sector you are, you are hyping them to have
Hmm.
a crown in. So adjusting the person's crown can be both ways. Adjusting in terms of, oh, you're feeling a bit discouraged and your crown has tilted a bit. Let me put it straight back on because you are amazing. You are this. So be the hype person, like I said, cheerleader. Be the hype person. Or adjusting your crown because you have messed up, and your crown has gone left. So you need to put it back on. As in, my friend, I love you forever. But this thing you're doing or you've done, let us consider it. And let's, encouraging the person, criticizing the person in a constructive sense to
Wait.
help them right their crown.
Mm, mm,
So, in terms of what it means to me, and this is pretty much the way I have grown up, encourage each other. And my default setting is I shall encourage my friend first, and then whichever direction the crown needs to be adjusted, I would, God helping me, do it in an encouraging manner
mm,
so my friend doesn't feel a certain type of way. Like you, Sissy, there are times where I've said, come on, why are you feeling a certain? I think we had this conversation just now. Sissy,
mm,
why don't you like this? Are you sure you're comfortable? So
mm,
are you happy with me sharing? You are thinking, oh, I don't like the way I look in this.
mm,
Okay.
mm, mm.
And so Bidemi was telling me she didn't like the way she looked. I'm like, okay. But Sissy, are you comfortable? And she's like, yes, I am. But I am seeing you right now, Sissy, and I want to tell you, you look beautiful. That is
Thank
me
you.
adjusting my friend's crown. She is
Yes.
pretty without makeup. Come on. This is what we should do for each other's friendship to grow in the right direction, and also for your own heart as well. Because in encouraging your friend, you in turn encourage yourself. And I think this helps with the mental state of a lot of people in being able to look at someone and say something positive.
Mm.
We live in such a negative world right now where everything is
It's a
dog
dog eat
dog.
dog world, basically.
Exactly.
Cutthroat. Anything goes. I can throw anyone under the bus in the pursuit of I want to advance my career.
Mm,
Anybody fair game.
hmm Everyone, because that's another thing, right? Because okay, we're talking in the context of friendship, and with friendship, it might be easier for you to adjust your friend's crown. But when you are in a professional space, like you said, in a workplace, uh, I was part of this huge corporate. No names being mentioned here. No buses harmed in this production, but I was in a corporate space where on Women's International Day they will do this session where they invite all or everyone in the company, but they of course expect mainly the women to turn up, and they do all this encouraging sessions where they will bring people from outside the company to
Mm,
talk about things that we can do to support each other. But in the reality of it, I've worked in the professional world for a long time. Most women don't support women in
yeah.
the professional world. And that is, I think, a legacy thing from generations before us, where women were not necessarily advanced in a clear and efficient manner in the workplace. So in that sense, dog eat dog. I'm sorry, I'm here first, and therefore I need to get mine before you get yours. And as
Mm,
a result, it's you as a professional woman, if you found yourself in the wrong group in the workplace, in fact, your crown was taken off. It wasn't adjusted. It was just
I don't
ripped
even
off.
think you even go walk into the door with the crown. I had a very horrible female boss, and
Mm,
it was almost like you were trying to prove yourself, and you
mm,
didn't need to prove yourself. And the
mm,
man, the male boss, was actually very kind. It's just if he
mm.
didn't if he didn't like someone, he didn't like someone. That was it. But I never got that from him. But for the
Ah,
female one, everybody had something really, really wrong. And now
mm,
I see her on social media, and she looks like. In fact, you have people praising her and wanting to say so many awesome things about her. I'm like, I mean, get close
mm.
to know that. It's
No.
not all of. But yeah, it's just. But the irony is that I worked in Nigeria for a bit before I moved here, and
Mhm,
in that environment, it's not very nice. I'll go to see clients, and there's a well-known Nollywood actress client that I went to see,
Mm-hmm.
and she won't even pick her phone. And even when she picks her phone, she won't say anything, expecting you to talk. It's almost like her trying to grovel.
Uh-uh.
And you have somebody like that trying to
Mm,
praise you up and coming Nollywood actresses. I'm like, you are
mm,
worse. Like you're not any better. But
mm,
you have
mm,
the ones that there's a well-known one that's a musician now. She is born again. I
mm,
hope she's changed, but
mm,
she wasn't nice. So we go for a show because I used to work with someone in the entertainment industry. We went
mm,
for a show and she said she was hungry. So
mm,
my boss said I should give something to her.
mm,
And since it was for her, she was in her car. I went to give it to her in her car. Do you know
mm,
this lady did not even turn? She was facing inwards. I was behind her. And then her PA said I should
mm.
bring it to him. He was on the other side, and I went to give it to him so he could give it to her. And then when I see her, she's in the UK here. She was born here. She's not even young. She's been in her 60s now.
Mm.
She calls herself a rapper and she's born again and all of that. But for me, she was very, very horrid. And yeah, whatever. If you know who I'm talking about and she sees it, I have no regrets whatsoever. She wasn't nice about
Well,
it.
that was your experience of
And
her.
there was no reason to be that way because I was young. How old was I? I was 20, 21.
Mm, mm,
So it wasn't even like no, I wasn't 20, so I was 20, 23. Sorry,
mm,
23, not 24. There was no, we're not dragging anything. You're established, you're doing well for yourself.
mm,
You do not need, there was no need. Do you
mm,
understand? A
mm,
lot of them are not kind. And this is the working industry that we have in Nigeria. And then when people talk about adjusting people's crowns, a lot of them don't even know what it means, even if it knocks them in the eye, because
mm,
they are horrible. When
mm,
you
mm.
look at horrible bosses in Nigeria, it's the female folk that are the horrible ones. I
Yeah.
even have friends that I know that are horrid. So whose
But
crown are you
why?
adjusting?
But why are they your friends? Or you mean as in the
No,
friend
no, no.
group?
Then they're not my friends anymore. Whose crown are you adjusting, please?
Wait,
Whose? Or you
okay.
have some that are supposed to be designers and they're not nice people.
Mm,
And I
mm,
don't have any nice experience that I've had with you, even
mm,
before you became anything that you were, and you think you're going to be suddenly nice, and then you have people praising because you don't know who this person is. So when you look
um,
at whose crown are you adjusting, or whose crown are you going to help adjust? The people that kiss up and suck up to you, and then when they don't want to, you kick them
mm,
to the side of the road. It's
mm,
from to the curb. I mean, it's really sad because we are the ones that are talking about women's rights, liberation, all these wonderful headings and subtitles. But when it
mm.
comes down to the nitty gritty, are we really what we
Doing
say we want to be, or we just
no,
say it and then we don't
no.
put our words to action?
Those are people not being true to themselves, and obviously it's resulting in what they project onto
Mm,
others. So yes,
mm,
there's a lot of lip service out there. We're talking genuine people who want to stay genuine and encouraging them to adjust other people's crowns. Do not
mm,
feel in so doing it's going to take away from you or deprive you of opportunities that are coming to you, because there's the situation. I think you mentioned it when we're having the pre-conversation in
yeah.
terms of you found a link to a role that you thought would be good for others, and you sent it, and then what did someone
I was
say
just
to
telling
you?
everyone actually as did my youth service,
Mm,
and I used to get because I had friends that were working,
mm,
friends that are way older that are working, so they had the connect. So every time there was something that came up during NYC, they forwarded it to me because I was somewhere in the sticks,
mm,
somewhere far away from Lagos or from home. And then I would ask people, "Are you interested? Oh, this is open. This is the email address." So there was a lot of
mm,
companies that were in industrial companies that were opening up to get graduate trainees. That's what they called it. So straight out
mm,
of university.
mhm,
And then I had this friend that was he wasn't a pastor but was a youth leader in the choir in Nigerian Corpus Christian Fellowship (NCCF).
okay.
And I told him about it and he said, that why am I telling people about this? That don't I think that by saying this, I'm stopping myself from getting the job? And I
Mm,
didn't even over Christianize, overthink it. I just said, whatever is for me will be for me, whether I share it or not share it. He said,
mm,
oh, that's another way to look at it. But it just, for me, I felt so
mm,
disappointed because this was somebody
mm,
that took it upon himself to encourage me whenever he had the opportunity or just speak to me or just get to know me as a person. And then was
mm,
telling me that whatever I was doing, as far as it was concerned, was
You're not
was
sure.
out of line because
Um,
myself from I was stopping myself from being headhunted because I was sharing a link. And it didn't matter because everyone was in the same predicament. But you
mm,
also had friends that had already gotten themselves sorted, but they'll come around you to want to get any information. So you had a lot of that as well. But
mm.
it's just sad that you have people that there are a lot of people, but that's the way of the world, unfortunately. That's the
It
way of the
is.
world. And
It
what did
is.
I expect actually? Because a human will be a human first before they're anything else. So I
Mm,
shouldn't have put anyone, not like I put
mhm,
him on a pedestal, but I just felt, oh, this is a Christian, and he was supposed to embody. I think people choose and pick what they want to embody as a Christian,
mhm.
and then the rest they bin it. So I
Well,
shouldn't have been disappointed.
sacrifice
And I don't think my
being.
relationship with that friend was ever the same, though we met in
Mm,
camp. But I
mm,
don't even think I ever kept in touch because I don't know, like, I can remember where exactly I was and
mm,
when he said what he said, where
mm, mm,
exactly we're having our monthly clearance, and I was right there. And I remember so
mm,
well, but
mm.
that's it. But anyway,
But you see, so in terms of him adjusting, so you could have, would you have called him a friend at that point?
no, 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 no. He wasn't. I just met him. So we had spent I think I spent about no, like 2 months. No, not up to
Mm,
maybe 6 weeks because
mm,
camp is 3 weeks.
mhm,
And then you go, or maybe even that 3 weeks. It was early days, but we had spent 3 weeks in camp cooped up together.
mm,
So it was one of the people that I called my friends, and he didn't think a certain type of way. He didn't feel,
mm,
because I felt to a certain extent when I was serving, I was severely misunderstood because they felt that a lot
mm,
of us that came from private unis that lived in Lagos, we were miles apart in terms of reality. So we were spoiled, we were entitled, we couldn't connect, we didn't relate. And then my dad was in the military. So even when everybody was carrying
yeah,
away because of the soldiers, I wasn't. I was bold and I stood up to them. I didn't have any I wasn't intimidated. So they
yeah.
already had an impression of a
Mm,
lot of us. So he was one of the few people to not judge me based on all of those things, but still wanted to get to know me.
okay,
So it
so
was somebody that we spent a lot of time hanging out together and speaking, though I really didn't go to the NCF because I really didn't like it.
that's
But
another
yes,
story. But the
that's
reason
another story for another day.
exactly. The reason I asked is because in that moment, even not as a friend, he was adjusting your crown, but in a negative sense. So people can adjust your crown to
Not
knock you off.
adjusting. I just feel it's just being very selfish and tunnel vision. I
Yes,
want to get somewhere and it doesn't matter. I'd rather not so I don't spoil my
that's true.
chances.
But with what you've explained about how people viewed you as well, he was probably
Mm.
trying to take you down a peg or so. I don't know what his intentions were. But there are people who turn up in your life and you think, hold on, what is your own with my own? And it's that sort of energy that is really not appreciated. So, okay, you are here minding your business. Someone comes and says, oh, why are you doing it like this? Don't you realize? So, back to the selfishness. Don't you realize this person will get ahead of you and you will still be in this position because you helped them? So, if you helped someone, if in your personal or professional life, to get somewhere and to do something, the others looking from the outside in could possibly say, hold on, doesn't that make you less than the person because you helped them?
Mm.
People, no one walks in the same shoes. Yes, you might both be size 8, but someone could be a wide size 8 and the other being narrow.
Narrow,
Yes,
yeah. I never
no,
knew that was the thing until I moved here that you had narrow and you had wide on the same side.
exactly.
So yeah. Because when
Exactly.
we're growing up, a size was a size, whether wide or not wide, it was one size.
It's not, it doesn't
So,
work that way. It doesn't work
no,
that
no,
way. By
no.
the way, as you're listening to us, please subscribe. We would love to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube and any other platform you're on. Put on the notifications and share. If this is something that really, keys into what you're thinking as well, please share with those who have the same mindset. But back to this point, people are adjusting your crown to knock it off. There are people who have no joy in life. and
Yeah.
it's unfortunate. It could be for a myriad of reasons. But when you decide to transfer your misery onto someone else because they are the happy person, they are the person who
Mm,
comes into a room and lights up the room. That sort of adjustment of crown is not needed in life. Mind your business, sit down in your misery somewhere else.
mm,
Do not bring it to someone else's door. To that
yeah.
point, you going about supporting others looking for jobs, there is nothing wrong with that, because whatever you have sown as a seed in helping others would come round and help you as well.
Mm,
Because at some point you might be looking for something and someone random sends you a link and you're like, wow, see how God has brought that seed that I sowed God knows when back to me.
mm,
So
mm,
I am of the opinion in terms of crowns in general, everyone has a crown, whether or not you're a pleasant person. So that celebrity that you spoke of, she was probably well recognized and people loved the work she did. So she has a crown, but her crown was tilted in the direction of I am all about me. And that is sad. You should encourage each other. There's nothing wrong with saying, hold on, your crown is a bit skewy. Let me straighten it up. And that is where
mm.
encouragement comes in. But yeah, by the way, I am drinking Twinings. This is not sponsored, just in case you're wondering, what's this orange thing Ibuku is drinking?
Ibukun loves her tea. I'm not
I
really a fan.
do.
I'm just having for breakfast. I can't do all of
I
that. I'm not
cannot.
English. Sorry. But like I said,
Mm,
you are not English. You are not Nigerian. So now that I've seen
super.
enough justification, because English people love their tea. So you
They
are one of them.
Well, they love their English breakfast tea. I like infusions. I hardly drink English breakfast. And turmeric is good for you. It helps
Mm,
inflammation and, and
mm,
and bloating as well. And your skin.
mm.
And your skin. I'm trying to get
Yeah, your skin glows. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. But yes.
And also, meanwhile, we did a girly trip
Mm, is
for
that what
four
you call it?
days. Yes, we did. Yeah, we did for 4 days. We went on a romantic girly trip to
Oh,
another
yeah.
continent, and it was amazing. And that was
Mm,
one way we helped to support and get
each
to know each
other.
other more, actually,
Yeah.
because there was another layer of ourselves that was
Uncovered. It's
uncovered. Yes,
true.
so that's
Yeah.
another way that we got to adjust each other's crown. Yes,
Mm.
I do agree
And
with that because we're building blocks of friendship. So it's another level. We've gone another level.
yes, we
So yeah.
have. Yes, we have. But that's being very intentional. And I think our next episode should be about friendship and really breaking it down. And we can share a bit more about our friendship, not because it's the ideal
Mhm.
friendship, but it's just
No, no,
literally
no.
how we experience friendship
Yeah,
and
yes,
how we're
yes,
supporting each other. But that being
yes.
said, this is a short episode because it's simple. Adjust each other's crown, support others, support it,
Mm,
not looking to gain something in return. Because genuinely there's a universal law in terms of what
mm.
you sow you shall reap, but you
Reap,
shouldn't be
yeah.
doing it so that you could reap. It's almost like, oh, almost like a savage is the word that comes to mind immediately, but almost like a
Mm.
very selfish intention that, oh, the only way I'm going to encourage someone is if the person then encourages me. What if the
You
person
have
doesn't
people
want
like
to
that that
encourage?
will only borrow you, lend you money, especially in Nigeria. I've seen that.
Mm,
If they know that if they're in problem, you can do the same thing. Why are you
mm,
thinking about something happen to you? I have a very, very good friend that our uncle used to do that. So he will not
mm,
lend anybody money if that person cannot be of help to him in future. Like
mm,
I don't get it. But there are lots of people that are self-made that feel that the fact that they're self-made, they did it by themselves, so they don't need to. If they work hard enough, they get the reward.
mm,
They don't know that
mm,
there's an unseen force, so they don't necessarily appreciate. Friendships is all about connection. Maybe they have one or two that they have kept from when they were nothing or no one, but a
mm,
lot of their friendships connection, who knows who, the cousin of the brother of the sister of the friend of the house girl of the president of those
mm.
kind of connections is very important to them. So they have to be 2 steps away from the president, 2 steps away
President,
from the queen, or 2 steps away from so and so. We even have
influential
people.
life.
Yeah, I have seen a complimentary card of the barber to the president.
Uh, wait,
Yeah.
he spent money to put on a card the barber to the
Yes.
president. Ah,
Yes. And there's also one that is a friend of the state governor of so state on
eh.
his card. So it is a thing. So a lot of the times when you look at adjusting, these are not adjusting. These are people that just want to, is it adjust? Maybe help keep the crown there as long as they benefit from it,
Oh
but
yeah,
not in a genuine way.
exactly. Like they say, it's the people that put you there that can take you down.
Mm,
Which is why you need to be careful about who is adjusting your crown. Because if they're the ones who made you and you are not sure of their character, of their
mm.
intentions, hey, you'll see them on your way down. Let's put it that
Yep.
way. Let's put
Yep.
it that way. Okay, all that lovely stuff being said, thank you for tuning in to Two Nigerian Women. We've been talking
Yes.
about adjusting each other's crown, and we're hoping you can also share your experiences of people adjusting your crown or you adjusting someone
Adjusting other people's.
else's.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
helping someone's crown stay up because some people
Mm,
need that help. A lot of people are not so confident and they walk around like the world's on their shoulders. Sometimes you just need
mm,
someone to give them that boost and see
exactly.
actually it's not so bad, or I'm not doing so bad, I'm doing so well. So some
Mm,
people actually need help wearing that crown and keeping it on. And some people don't even know that they have one.
mm,
So I
mm,
think making a conscious effort to encourage, to support, to
mm-hmm,
just speak life over your friends, being
mm-hmm.
intentional about doing that, because you never know what people are going through. A lot
You
of
don't.
people are going through so many things and they are dealing with it silently. And you never
Mm,
know what one word or what one sentence that you make will make or break them. So I think walking around being kind and being conscious of knowing that you have a role to play in making
mm,
somebody else see themselves who the way God sees them. You might not see it
yeah,
completely, but at
yeah,
least you're helping them see that.
exactly that.
Because I
So,
think we underestimate ourselves as well. So I
yes,
try as much as I can to be intentional. Even the things
mm,
that I say to my kids, they're just some things I won't. I'm trying to build up this little person to be all
mm,
that God has called them to be and more. So if I see that you're trying to tear down that personality, I will not take it lightly with you because it takes a lot of hard work and prayers and sleepless nights to get them to this point. You are not going
mm,
to
mm,
break their spirits. I am very intentional, and how much more as adults
mm,
being
mm.
having someone that has your back.
Exactly that. Exactly that. And I know it's cliche now because
Mm.
people say it, but being kind cannot be overemphasized. Just be
No.
kind. Just be kind.
It doesn't cost anything to be kind
No, it
because a
doesn't.
lot of people are going through so much. I think
Mm,
besides adjusting our crowns, there's outer circle, not necessarily your friends. They can be
mm,
colleagues. They can even just be, I like what you're wearing. You look really nice. Like I made an effort to compliment people in church because I found out that myself, a lot of times I was getting a lot of compliments and I'll just say thank you. And I had to
mm,
rewire and rework myself that no, it's not just thanks. So before anybody even says anything, and I
mm.
genuinely mean it. I'm not just saying it because I want to say you look really
It's
nice. I
nice,
like what you're
really
wearing.
nice. Yeah,
Say it.
yeah.
Compliment people. It's not going to dull your shine. It's not going to take anything from you. It's not going to make you feel smaller. It's not going to
Mm,
make you look less fine because you're
mm.
saying someone
That
looks
one
good.
is.
Yes. So say it because you never know what's going
Honestly.
to make someone's day and going to make somebody walk on sunshine.
I don't want to overlabor this point because we're trying to make sure what you hear is concise and you get our point. But there's
Mm,
so many parts we can go down with this. But one thing that I think is overall is how you view yourself as well. And we've spoken about identity and we'll continue to speak about identity. But
mm.
if you're secure in your own person, it will not take anything from you to identify something good in someone else and
Yes.
then say it. It
Yes.
shouldn't. It really shouldn't. But
No.
overall, be kind. On that note, Sissy, let's say goodbye. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us on this episode. It's lovely seeing you. Please send us your questions, your comments, and if there's something you want us to talk about, please let us know. But thank you for having us and welcoming us
Thank,
into your space.
thank you. Have a lovely, blessed week ahead. Bye bye. Bye.
Bye.